What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and welcome to part 1 of the Spec Ops 23 task list. In this one, we'll cover the beginning set of tasks, so let's go ahead and get started with task number 1. For this one, we have to defeat 4 test subjects, and you're going to find these very quickly as soon as you enter mission number 1. Okay, so this is the very first screen, and as you can see, there is a medium threat that contains exactly 4 test subjects. I decided to take in Karnak, who is a level 6 in this video, and Iron Patriot. There's only going to be 2 waves of 2 enemies, and we take down the first one with counterattacks alone. So I have to say there's nothing too exciting in this one, and I'm sure that none of you had any problems with this task whatsoever. But hey, I plan on showing every task, and I'm going to explain exactly what I did to defeat it. At the absolute most, I may speed up small sections of this video, or of a particular task, but I definitely will not leave any step out, and that goes for every other part from here on out. So if you end up having trouble with any part, or you just want to see what comes up next, then make sure you continue watching and make sure you tune in to all the additional task list videos. As for task 1, it's about to be over as soon as Iron Patriot hits his final enemy. And by the way, the reward for this one is going to be 100 experience, but the cool thing about it this time around is the fact that level 300 agents can continue to earn XP. So finally these rewards aren't going completely to waste. Very few things were as frustrating as gaining an XP reward and you couldn't gain any more XP. But anyways, now moving on to task number 2. For this one you have to defeat Black Dwarf. Black Dwarf is a mini boss in mission 1, Anger of the Mad Titan. Most likely you're going to have to do a few more threats and or deploys before you get to fight him, but he is going to be the very first mini-boss to show up on the map. As a team up, they're going to give you crystals so you get to try out the newest character for the first time. Also, unfortunately, the fact that you have to defeat him, and he is in his own wave, that means that you can't beat him and abandon the mission, so it's going to hurt your end score. Because of this, I actually ended up doing quite a bit of the deploys, that way I could boost my mission score. Just like before, I'm going to bring in Karnak, and I'm going to speed up the first wave, that way we can get right to the mini-boss. Since we are using 2 Inhumans, Karnak's going to preemptively counter quite a few times. But here's to hoping he does it on the mini-boss himself. Okay, and right away, the very first attack he does preemptively counter. Then next, with Karnak, we're going to use his level 2 Stress Point Perception. That's actually a very useful quick action debuff. And then I'm going to use another Fracture Flaw. After that, with my agent, I'm going to use the Blade of the Guardian, that way we can gain some more Rising Up buffs. And finally, with Crystal, I'm going to actually use Hydrokinesis. Basically, I just wanted to see it in action. So there we go, it's a decent hit. And then on Black Dwarf's turn, once again, we're going to preemptively counter with Karnak. My Protector agent's going to take the Severing Swing, and then we knock out the mini-boss with the Mercurial counter. So that's going to be it for task number 2, once again not too difficult. So we get some needed XP for my agent and Karnak, however the reward this time around is going to be 1000 silver. Then moving on to task number 3, it's going to be another extremely easy task. All you have to do is complete a deploy. That's right, only one, and you can do this in any mission, including Spec Ops Mission 1. I just went ahead and finished it here because, like I said, I was trying to get a higher mission score. So yeah, all you have to do is pick up your hero, collect your reward, and then you can even see the task is complete in the background. So there goes number 3 with a reward of 100 experience. And next, step number 4, it's perfect timing because Nebula just popped up on our map. By the way, the reward for this one is going to be 5000 silver, so that's not too bad. We're going to be fighting Nebula along with Supergiant, and let's just say the fight wasn't exactly a pushover. So for one, you may not want to bring in a Tactician agent. Honestly, I should have taken the opportunity to try out the brand new Scrapper Safeguard uniform. But instead, I opted to give both of these infiltrators combat reflexes. I know, not a great move. By the way, the team up for this one is going to be Medusa, and so once again we're going to bring in Karnak for a double Inhuman team. We'll go ahead and speed through the first wave once again, and then the actual boss and mini-boss fight is going to be in regular speed. Okay, and just like that, the first 3 are gone, and now we have Supergiant and Nebula. Unfortunately, they get the first 4 turns of the fight, and also they give up part of the plot. Apparently Maximus has been lying to us. By the way, Supergiant is a wannabe Emma Frost, but she is incredibly annoying. And after Nebula gets her attacks in, finally we get our first turn. So what we're going to start with is a bad hair day, and this is going to cause a counterattack from Supergiant as well as Nebula. So not exactly the greatest set of circumstances, but it gets worse, trust me, it does. After we get both counters, Karnak and my agent are going to be stunned. This means we have to sit through 4 more enemy attacks. Luckily my agent and Medusa can take quite a beating. But this is what I was talking about when I said this fight is no pushover. Honestly though, it may have just been bad turn order or bad luck. Still, on Medusa's next turn, we're going to whip her hair back and forth with her level 2. After that, Karnak should be able to get a double attack on one of these infiltrators. Well, after that, and a counter attack. So what we're going to do is use our level 2 quick action, and then right after that we'll use our level 6 on Nebula, and get a follow-up with our level 1. After this, hopefully she'll be knocked out, or at least very close. And we take her down to 3100 HP. So on my agent's turn, we'll use Momentary Advantage, followed by the Light Fantastic. And after that, I'll use the Warbringer Axe on Supergiant. A crit from this axe is going to bring Supergiant down, and now we only have a very weakened Nebula to deal with. So yeah, this boss fight started out pretty rocky, but we end up winning the match anyways. Or at least we will once we get a turn with Medusa. Since we haven't seen her level 6 rocking locks yet, that's what we're going to use to take down the boss. Like I said, just bring in a scrapper agent and this fight will be so much easier. Now moving on, let's go ahead and see what our score is. And then we're going to collect a reward of 5,000 silver and move on to task number 5. Oh, but first, you know what, let's go ahead and take a spin on the boss roulette and hopefully we get the Eldritch Relic. I actually really would like to get this weapon and try it out with Emma Frost as well as other psychic attackers, but unfortunately we only get the reactive ISO. So about that task number 5, you have to fight 5 PvP battles. All you have to do is fight them, you don't have to win, and hopefully your practice matches are working. For me, I only can see one opponent at a time, but hey, it still gets the job done. So jumping right into our 5th and final battle, we're facing a Null and Quicksilver team. And to be honest with you, I don't understand the hype because I never lost to this team, not a single time. In fact, I would think this team would get destroyed by the GG prototype. Plus another thing that I want to share with you is Null on defense is pretty easy to overcome. All you have to do is exhaust him and he'll stand there using You're Not Worthy and not attacking for the rest of the fight. Unfortunately, this team doesn't have exhaustion, so we'll just have to beat him up. I suppose Iron Fist and his combo breaker does help out quite a bit. Then on our Null's turn, we're going to use You're Not Worthy, followed by Ragnarok'em Sock'em. What I like to do with Null is gain at least 3 stacks of Divine Hammer before using our level 9. After this, the enemy agent's next act, and he takes a Fatal Fist preemptive counter. We also do get lucky enough to dodge the Warbringer Axe. So then with our agent, we can use the Signpost, followed by our quick action Neuropurge. And that's going to place off balance on all the enemies and it should cut down their counters. After this, we still get to attack, but instead of using the Hotshot, I'm going to use the Blackest Void. So now the enemy team is disoriented, and with Quicksilver up next, first he attacks my agent, and then he's actually going to hit his own. At this point, I'm going to focus on the enemy Null, so let's go ahead and hit him with our level 1 first. The plan was to take him within Fatal Blow range, but he does dodge some of the attack. And just as I had hoped, we do hit him with a Fatal Fist, but he manages to live. So with our Null, we'll use You're Not Worthy, followed by our level 9 World Breaker. Like I said, as long as I have 3 stacks of Divine Hammer, I'll go ahead and unleash it. Then after the enemy agent takes 3 stacks of Meteor Swarm, we do get a Fatal Fist, and that's going to be the end of them. Obviously, you want to use Signpost every single turn that you can, and after that I'll use the Light Fantastic. It's a quick action, so then why not fire the Hotshot just because we can. This does take out Null, and Quicksilver set up to die due to Meteor Swarm. So like I said, that was our 5th and final battle, and now we've completed task number 5. After you complete this task, you're going to be given the blueprint for the Mad Tech Grenade, and of course that's going to bring us to our first research. So let's go ahead and move on to task number 6. For this one you have to research the Mad Tech Grenade in the lab. So let's click the link and go over and see what it's going to cost us. It's going to take 40 unstable ISO weight, 100 silver, and most importantly 8 hours. So we'll check back in once this research is completed with Task List Part 2. That is going to be it for Part 1, and I want to thank you all for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, good luck and take care.